Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. The guilty party has just owned up. There's a comment just popped up on the last video from this morning saying, oh, it was me, by the way, who did the basket thing. So thanks so much to Chris Trinder. Absolutely superb. And do those plants look better in a wooden basket? Of course they do. I've just literally finished this, so I thought, well, as I now know who donated the basket, I can now do a video. You can see the little spike pushing out down there, and this was really good fun trying to wire the two plants into the basket, get them out of their old plastic baskets and not lose that spike. There was language. Anyway, they're in there. They're relatively firm. I mean, they're not absolutely rigid, but I've just wired them round the base and then into the sides of the basket, pulling them down slightly so that what roots are in the base of the basket are actually pressed against the wood. And just looking at the way the roots were dealing with being against the base of the basket, that's where the new bits are shooting out from. There is something about roots being against something. For certain plants. So we've got a nice big new root coming across the top there, and quite honestly there are a lot more little root nubbings that look like they're about to sprout than I thought. So although that looks like quite a poor root system, I got a feeling it's going to pull on now. It's amazing how much bark came out of those two baskets, and the fact that it hasn't been in there that long, I'm not going to waste that. I've put it in the old Vanda bucket, and I'm literally just going to pour boiling water all over it and give it a swirl round. Because I mean, it's not infected or anything like that. It's perfectly good bark, but I would like to sort of give it a bit of a sterilise and then just put it to one side and let it dry off, and it's perfectly usable. It's not cheap stuff, this Orchiata, not to be thrown out lightly, especially when it hasn't had much life used out of it yet. Anyway, I think the pair of plants looks more than twice as good as the two single plants. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. And now, let's see if I can do this one-handed. This is where they're going to live, which is where the other two were. Am I going to get this up through the bush without everything falling over? You can see what it's like in here. Everywhere gets hooked up on everything else. It's just too crowded. But that's where they're going to live, up in the bright light. Yeah? So that's good light from all round. Nice wooden basket, which quite honestly is, there's just something about wood and roots. They go together. Roots just latch on to wood. That's probably why the bark works reasonably well, and they lock on to chunks of it. But anyway, I'm hoping that those two will now pull on a lot better. They often got relatively weak feed where they used to be, because they got fed with the other orchids. Well, they're vandaceous orchids, and by nature they're probably quite heavy feeders. So now they can get dunked in the bucket with the other vandas, and certainly for the next few weeks or so I will have to take great care not to get the base of that spike wet when I'm doing it, just the roots, and keep the base of that spike dry. I mean, once a spike gets established, a bit of water around the base doesn't really hurt it, but at this point in its very new life, that could easily cause some rot around the base of that plant. So there we go then. Basket used, sterilised just literally by pouring loads of boiling water all over it, and then just giving it a quick rinse, and up and running. And those two plants look so much better than just stuck in those plastic pots. Don't look very elegant, do they really? Something about wood that's just nice. So thanks again, Chris, and put to good use the very next day. Don't get much quicker than that, does it? See you again. Thanks for dropping by.